lost track of what I was fucking talking about this now. Totally fucking.
We're into our work hours, so that doesn't matter.
Perfect. So even this week, the gravel truck produced 15 tickets. And then the other trucks, there's probably a random 10, 12 tickets. Like this week was like a slow week. We still have like, I don't know, 30 pieces of paper to deal with. Now the gravel truck's always going to have because it's all stuff from the pit, right? You need your pit ticket, and then it's got to get scanned and uploaded to the person that pays you, and blah blah blah, whatever. Stuff that happens behind the scenes that I don't do. I know you're shocked to hear that. I'm not uploading and scanning. We discussed this before, but I took a beating again yesterday because I don't know how to e-transfer money from our staff. Our staff has decided to start a lottery pool.
Oh,
But what?
Is that illegal?
I don't think so. I like that idea.
So our staff has decided to start a lottery pool, and they asked, they asked everybody, but me included, if I wanted to be in it. And one of the rules of the lottery pool is you e-transfer your money every Thursday to the person who's in charge of it, and then that person does it. And if you don't transfer your money by 5 o'clock, you are out for that week. And if everyone else wins millions, you get jack fucked. And so they said, "Are you in?" And I said, "I'm up for a lottery pool because, hey, I like to waste money that I earn. I'm a landscaper."
Is it the same person every week in charge of the money?
Yes, same person.
I would pay them for the whole year and say I'm in.
But they're not doing that. They want it e-transferred every week.
No. You're the boss. You make the rules. You tell them.
I don't think I make the rule. I don't
company, you do it your way, the most efficient way that you can do it.
I don't think I make the rules.
You're going to be locked out every week because you forgot. You got a million things going on. One of these weeks you're going to forget, and they're going to be millionaires, and you're still going to be driving that truck.
So I said to Christy, I can't participate in this because I don't know how to e-transfer money, and I don't have any desire to learn how to e-transfer money. And so she said, "I'll e-transfer $12 every week, and that you can give me the $6." And I said, "Oh, okay, let's do that," because I feel like that would probably, because then I could pay her for like 10 weeks in advance, like you just said, Chad.
Yeah.
Come at me in 10 weeks. Come at me in another 10 weeks. Come at me in another 10 weeks. And then I'm okay.
We gotta start that.
If you win the lottery, do you retire?
I'll never retire. I'll always be doing. Even if we went up to Thunder Bay, Chad's right, I'd probably take a truck with me and then try to take over some local's job. I've been hauling for 40 years up here. I don't give a fuck. You're out, bro.
Yeah, but you can still haul, but now I'll put you in a nicer truck to do it, and you'll be comfortable.
Are you trying to say I don't have nice? You trying to say I don't have nice trucks?
Maybe you can make it a nicer truck. What do you mean? No matter how nice your truck is, there's always a nicer truck.
There is always a nicer truck. Yeah. I don't think I would retire. I like getting up every day and going. I like getting up, leaving the house, and going to do something every day.
Okay, so this is one of my questions that I had. I asked before, if you weren't landscaping, what would you be doing? But if you say won the lottery, or you could do whatever you want, like, anything you wanted to do, what would you want to be doing? And it's like skills, you've got the skills, just snap your finger, or just what would you want to do?
I don't know. You can go first, Chad.
I don't think there's anything I'd like to do more than this or sit on a beach. Like, I do my own, like, I build houses for myself just so that I could do the landscape, but that's obviously I'm not a carpenter, I'm not a finisher, I'm not a
so you can be anything. You can be anything. Like, snap your fingers, you've got the skills.
This is what I love to do. Like, I like to dig shit and install stuff, and yeah, I don't know what else I'd do. If I wasn't sitting on a beach, I'd still be a landscaper. I'd just do it in a better place than Westlock, Ontario.
If I could stop, honestly, if I could snap my fingers and have any skill, I would want to be like, and I think this is a skill I could develop. Like, I've never done it. I really like I've helped with it, but I've never actually driven I like the heavy haul trucks, the low boy floats that split in half and
Mhm.
put X. I just think they're awesome. Like one went by us today, and I was like, so fucking awesome. Like,
The
just,
long nose that you can't see past.
yeah, like I would want to. I'm fascinated with. I mean, I can run an excavator and stuff. But a whole heavy haul thing, I think it's awesome. It's something I would do if I won the lottery. I would buy a truck like that and then fuck up a lot of shit till I got good at it. I just because I think it's awesome. I love it. The whole just I don't know, the whole downshift and smoke stacks blowing and reverberating Jake brakes and that whole thing is I love that. That's what I would. I mean, I guess I when I was a kid, I always wanted to be Indiana Jones. I thought he was cool as fuck. So if I could get the Indiana Jones skill set and become an archaeologist, I would like that too.
Nice.
How about you, Mike?
I would probably choose being a goalie because
Oh,
I would want to go that career path of like playing as a goalie and then eventually work my way into like a general manager or something like that. Because I love that. I think that would be really interesting.
the Ron Hextall.
Yeah.
He's still the general manager of the Penguins now, isn't
Is he the Penguins?
he?
Yeah,
I think
I don't know.
I think he's the general manager of the Penguins now.
Gotcha. I would have assumed like Philly or something.
He was. He got fired.
Oh, okay.
He was the general manager of Philly, and then he got fired. And then I think he's with the Penguins now. But you want to lead the Ron? That's a good idea. I never thought about it because that was a big thing in my youth. That was a big playing hockey. That was a big thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Although I have always been fascinated by trucks. I think that we've been looking at tractors for like maybe getting a live like a 4-axle live bottom. And we've been
Mhm.
looking at tractors. And that's like a whole different game than looking at dump trucks, right? Like it's a whole different long nose fucking it's just a different so
What
we
comes,
like
what comes first? Is it the driver or the truck? Like, what do you buy the truck and find the driver, or have the driver and buy him the truck?
for this truck I have one of our drivers that would specifically be driving it.
Okay. So
Right now I'm either looking for a tractor and a 4-axle live bottom or a triaxle and a pony. Uh, we already have a driver for them for
yeah.
it, whatever, or maybe we end up with none of it. I don't know. This is expensive stuff. Like the brand new, we're talking 400,000. If
Easily.
either of those things. So it's like, but even trying to find stuff on the like reasonable stuff on the stuff so unreasonable on the used market. Like, but I mean, I definitely we were leaning towards tractor and I bottom, and now I'm more leaning towards triaxle and pop, just because we could unhook the pop and run the truck without the pop. And although someone pointed out to me yesterday, a tractor you can have a live bottom trailer and a low boy trailer and a fucking flat deck trailer, and you can do a lot of stuff with the tractor, and you just have all the trailers, and it just moves in between them. You can have a van trailer, so there is some, but right now I'm leaning towards triaxle and pup. So if anyone knows someone that's got a good triaxle and pup for sale, call me, DM me. So
Someone asked me the other day if my hook lift could take a pop. No air. I can't. But
it needs a wet line.
yeah. Yeah, you gotta be hooked up. But no, I don't think that's worth it.
Why someone called you about buying it and asked if it would take a pup trailer?
Yeah. Holy shit. What do you want to do to this thing? It's 20 years old now?
Yeah, it's a 99, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a 99. You don't hook a pup up to it.
No, you don't.
Yeah. It's good.
It's a
Well,
good
it's only
truck, but its best years are probably behind it.
I don't know. There's a good argument to that
Yeah. I suppose.
because it's got a Cat 3406 in it that's got no
Yeah.
fucking DEF fluid and no emission shit. And
Yeah.
so I think there's potentially its best years are in front of it.
True. You could be right there.
Because as soon as you mess with anything that's emissions related, it's a fucking shit show.
Just have a, yeah. Yeah.
It's such a disastrous. Did you burn a lot of DEF coming home with the skid steer on your Dodge?
I didn't check. But ever since you said it's got to be between half and full or half and three quarters,
It's got to be
I've
3/4 full in the winter.
yeah, made a point to check. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna freeze it, it might be fucking frozen by the time I get up tomorrow with the weather that we're getting tonight.
Did you take it to the airport?
Yeah, left it in the we parked in like in the parking shelter there, because I'm over parking in the parking garage, and then the bus comes to pick you up and stuff like that. And you're freezing waiting for the bus and all this shit. So
We use the park and fly, but we use the valet.
we tried, like, I pulled up to the valet, and I'm like, I have a ticket to park underground here. And he's like, no, not us. You gotta go around. And the Montreal airport was just a shit show.
Oh, you go to
Oh.
Montreal?
Yeah, we always fly to Montreal.
It never occurred to me that you wouldn't fly out of Toronto.
Everybody in Toronto thinks Toronto is the center of the universe. Like, it never fails. Everybody absolutely assumes if you're from Ontario, you're flying out of Toronto. Oh, of course you're going from Toronto. There's other places
Absolutely.
in Ontario that you can do things from. So,
Well, that's not in Ontario. It's for the
no,
record.
it's but I could have flew out of Ottawa too. But
Does Kingston not have some sort of airport?
we took a 787 jet. Like, it was pretty big. Like, I doubt Kingston. I don't think Kingston could accommodate that.
Could you fly from Kingston to Montreal though and then transfer?
That's what I was thinking. Like a smaller airport to a bigger airport.
Why would you want it an hour? It's 45 minutes for me to get to Montreal.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
No.
These
It's an hour and a half to get to Kingston. So.
whenever we fly home, inevitably there's always someone from like Alberta who's got to catch a flight to Calgary after they fly from. And I'm like, wow, that is intense. That's intense to get to the Caribbean. Like to catch another flight to Calgary after you fly home, because normally by the time we land, I am done with flying. I'm good. I'm fucking ready to go. I can't imagine saying I'm gonna hop another flight to Calgary after that. Fuck that.
It's good when you're flying with a kid. Probably not a good one. Because anytime there's a giant line, they can get through customs and stuff. They see the little kid and they open the gate. They let you sneak by everybody, and that's the ticket. If you're flying, bring a small child.
Did you bring your small child with you this time?
Yeah, we always have.
Okay.
That's her third trip.
Nice.
Third, and Costa Rica will be her fourth trip. And she's only 4, so that's good. And she doesn't need that fucking jab to go anywhere, right? Because she's
so little.
I think she missed that whole boat, so pretty big.
I'm surprised I didn't see any Instagram ads being filmed while you were there in that nice hotel room that you're staying at. And
Instagram
telling
ads.
people, like sign up for your guru platform because this is what you can get.
I did a little bit just in my story. I didn't make it.
I feel like you could do a guru platform. I'm bidding jobs while I'm in Dominican and I'm doing more work than
Exactly,
you,
right?
Yeah.
When I get home, I'm picking up
I don't post once a day for 100 days or something like that. Or
90 days. Come on.
90 days.
I'm on the beach and I just made this much money quoting jobs. And you can do that too. Your ad.
I assume I have to have a smooth voice and a little fucking feather or something like that.
I think having 2 drinks dancing in the pool, you did okay.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
I think you did all right.
Yeah, I felt like they did okay. It's,
I did not make it to the podcast summit.
no, I heard that.
Oh, that's right. How was it?
Oh, it was amazing. It looked like a ton of fun. Everyone seemed to have a really good time at the podcast summit. Everyone who went. I got tied up in snow moving. It actually snowed, and then a bunch of people actually called to move snow. It was the first time all year people called to move snow. And snow moving is good because all of our snow moving clients are very prompt with things that count. So I got derailed with snow moving, but one day I will go to beautiful Fairfield County.
I want to see their shop. I was I just figured that it was kind of dicey to commit to going in the winter. How far would you have to drive? Would you fly out of
Short of
Toronto?
a storm,
You wouldn't fly out of Toronto though,
I
right?
wouldn't fly anywhere.
Yeah, you would drive right
drive.
there.
It's
Yeah.
7 hours. I think it was 6 or 7 hours. I looked it up. It's a nice little jaunt. Gotta remember, I drive like 12 hours a day.
Yeah, that's true.
Driving for 6 or 7 hours was like, well, whatever.
Would you drive your roll off there?
No, absolutely not. That would be a
You get as
painful.
far as the border and they turn you
Oh,
around.
that's right.
That would be a painful extravagance. So the alternator burned out on my 2015 Chevy, which doesn't seem like a big deal, and but I guess a few 2000 Chevy 1500s got made with some obscure alternator. So of course mine is one of those ones. And so like to get this alternator is like Brad's having this like painful extravaganza of time spent to get this alternator. So I've been back in the Veloster this week. It's been very refreshing. Velostering around.
You're not kicking yourself for not buying that brand new Dodge 200 a couple weeks back?
No.
Or was it a Chevy? No, you want a Chevy, eh?
It was the one I looked at one a couple of years, a Chevy 3500 single axle high country, two-tone tan interior, diesel. That was a beautiful truck, but I felt like it would still be there in the spring.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what?
I
I got
remember
the
they were driving all these mini trucks, which are
Those are sick.
popular in Latin America or the Caribbean or where all these places. These trucks are so tiny. I mean, they're so handy because the paths are only 8 feet wide or whatever. But they're bombing past you, and you're in your sandals, and you're going to the beach or whatever. And there's these four guys riding in the back of this ratty little pickup, and they've got garbage beside them and stuff. And I don't know, they're all like Suzus, and I don't know what the other brand is. But,
Hondas, maybe.
I've
I've always wanted one of those mini trucks. I think they're
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, but I don't know what I
I've
do with it. Like, it's sort of useless.
No, you just have it.
Just have
It's
it.
like the backhoe you have. Sort of useless, but you have it.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, you're right.
Backhoes aren't great at anything, but they do everything. They're sort of useless,
Yeah.
but they're not.
We can rent a backhoe, but rent our backhoe out, but we never really use it on jobs unless it's like a street job where you have to drive and plant. Yeah.
So if you're doing street trees, you use the backhoe and you just
Yeah.
you reverse from hold. You lift the thing, spin the seat, back it up, spin the seat, put the legs down.
Our operator is so good that he doesn't even have to spin the seat. Like he just lifts the stabilizers and the throttle's still up and he's driving with his arm behind him to the next hole and then he stops it and puts the stabilizers down. He's digging again.
Seems like NDL's got the safety set up right.
Dude, I never said I did it with NDL.
Oh.
Or that was my job. That was the stuff. But yeah.
How often do you use the backhoe?
So I got an old operator who refuses to use the loader, the brand new loader, because he likes this old 2006 case backhoe. One time, he drove it all the way to the site, and I get a call from the general, and he's like, "He's leaking diesel all over the road. He lost the gas cap. He put a rag in there." I had to run out and bring him a fucking gas cap because he left it on the fuel tank at the yard. So anyway, he won't ride it in anything but this backhoe. He's great in the backhoe, but you can't put him in anything else. So that's why we can't get rid of the backhoe. And until the guy dies, we gotta keep this backhoe because he can use. But until he dies or quits, which I don't know which one's further off, but
You're not 100% sure?
not 100% sure. This guy is wound so tight that he cannot relax ever. If this is one of
So
these
what does he do during the off season?
he goes to he's got a house in the East Coast. With his, I don't know how his wife puts up with him all winter. Like he's this
Who goes to
guy.
the East Coast in the winter?
I don't know, because he's got family out there. So his wife made him move out there. But
I'm gonna go to the craziest snowy place on the planet for the winter. Head out to the East Coast.
yeah, I remember before he moved there, he's like, "Oh yeah, it doesn't snow down there at all." I'm like, "Well, you're about to find out."
It snows a lot, bro.
Like, yeah, I think it's a little a lot out
Every
there.
every fucking day, it
Yeah.
snows and it snows.
But we can't get rid of the tobacco until the guy's gone, and so we're gonna keep the tobacco, I guess. Another thing in these Caribbean countries, they don't own tri. Nobody has a triaxle out there. All these construction guys, tandem.
Yeah,
Everything's a tandem, and they're all loaded to the tits, like sand spilling over the top and everything. Like it's wild. Like
almost everywhere you go, there's tandems.
it's tandems. Like a triaxle isn't a thing. I mean,
If you go out to Vancouver, it's all tandems with a tandem pup.
oh yeah, I think that we had an old Western Star that came from the West Coast. Short box. It was like a 12-foot box on a tandem.
And
It
it's
was
got
for
really
like,
low sides.
yeah, it was like a mountain.
Because when we were out in Vancouver for Paisley Soccer last spring, and because that's where we go for soccer, Vancouver. That's the kind of it was all tandem, but I think part of it might be because of the mountains.
yeah.
I don't know if that's a thing, or I know that one of the reasons, like the way that we have triaxle trucks spec is like almost Ontario only. If you go to Quebec, they're all quad steers. If you look at trucks from Quebec, they're all quad steer trucks. They're not spiff trucks. And if you go out west, they're all tandems. But it's the way that we have trucks in Ontario, like the way we have to build our roads to support those trucks is insane. If you look at all the guys from the States, you look everywhere, their trucks don't, some of them have the axle back farther, so they're almost a tri-drive, but very few of them actually have the actual overall length of the trucks that we have.
So I was driving yesterday. Yeah, I went to drop off the check for the skid steer, and I saw this. It wasn't even like it was a cab chassis Canworth, but it was a triaxle, but it also had these extra tiny wheels. What are all these fucking tiny wheels doing on there? They're like half the size of a regular rear wheel.
Just like a helper.
Just like a what, sorry?
It's like a help. Was it on the back of it? It might have been a cement, like a frame.
They were all over the place. Like they were in front of the tandem wheels, and then they were behind. They were two in front and one in the back, and I was like, dude, they look like regular fucking car tires.
That must be going down to the States.
Yeah, I don't know. And I've seen it before on Instagram where if it's a triaxle, then it has these extra tiny tires on. I'm like, those can't be doing anything. But then again, I'm not a trucker, and I don't have a clue.
So, like the axle on our bin trucks adds like, well, I actually have to pull the axle off the bin truck because it's out of January 21st. It either has to be chained up out of service or off the truck. It's not spiff. It adds like 3 ton.
Really?
To the it adds 3 tons to the legal weight, which isn't a lot, but on that truck, it's probably the 3 like that's probably the weight you get put over. Like you pick up some 1400 bins, they can be pretty fucking heavy.
Yeah.
Right. So that's probably but the way we build roads in Ontario is the way we support those trucks.
Like the actual engineering of the roads, or
yeah, the roads have to be. That's why we have all these like weird half load laws, and well, they're not even half like that. They're weight restrictions because they're not half loads. Like our triaxles are good for, like, let's say the triaxles are good for 22.5 and 22.7, I think, right now. For like the carry, like that's how much tonnage you can put in the truck. They're good for 36 something overall, truck and material. But when when the weight restrictions come in, they're good for 7 ton.
And that's like a month of lost revenue.
2 months, 8
2
weeks.
months. Wow.
Well, like Toronto are full. Every road in Toronto is a full load road. I try to tell all the clients, like, do work in Toronto. Like, as soon as you cross the border of Pickering into Scarborough, like, they're all full load roads everywhere. You can drive anywhere, do anything you want. No one gives a fuck. But once you get anywhere into the suburbs, it's half load roads everywhere. And then inevitably someone always wants to cheat, which fucking sucks because you get put in a bad spot.
Yeah. Will you put on a full load on a half load time of year?
Have I?
Have you? Well, would
Yeah.
PK trucking?
Sometimes you get jam. No, because sometimes the roads all change, right? You make a turn, you're like, fuck. I didn't know this was weight restricted. Fuck, this one's weight restricted too. And then your
Is
car
there a way
goes,
to tell, or do you just have to know?
it's just like a fucking sign. You can look it up on like the different regional websites, but like if you're going to Mississauga or something, and then it's like,
Yeah.
so in general, for those 8 weeks, I try to. It's hard. It's a hard 8 weeks in the trucking world.
Yeah. I can imagine.
I mean, it's just got waiting for half loads to come off, basically, or weight restrictions. It's not half a load. Half a load would be like 10, 11 ton, but 10, 11 ton, you're over.
Yeah.
So
You
we
can
only really have till the 28th of, unless, is this a leap year?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
So, Mike, do you wear the Alliance shirt just for free advertising on here? Or?
Yeah, pretty much.
You've worn it like 3
They
weeks
sponsor
ago.
me on the Not Our Finest Hour podcast, so.
Do they?
No, I didn't even realize I was wearing the shirt until I sat down and saw it there.
Like,
So I've been trying to keep it like lower in the frame. I've got something here, guys, that I'm curious if it how it goes over, because there's a lot of things that I can do with it here, and we're getting close to the end of our worst hour. So if we end on a low note, that's not a big deal. Are you guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Yep.
How do you guys like trivia?
The
silence tells me you don't. So I've got some.
I like it if I know it.
Okay, so this is well, you lived it. So this is some Not Our Finest Hour trivia.
Oh.
And so what we're gonna do here is I'll ask the question. You can stop me at any time. Your buzzer will be your name. So like Chad, if you know the answer, just say Chad, and then you'll have a chance to answer it. And then if you answer it wrong, we'll go over to PK. Okay? And then I'll keep track of points. It's very short, but I've got other trivia topics that we can get into, depending on how well this goes over here. So
Okay.
you guys good?
Yeah.
So
right.
Chad gets to answer when he fails. I get to answer when I fail. You tell everyone the actual answer.
No, we'll go back and forth because you should get at least close to them, or you should eventually get it. So PK, if you say PK, then it's you. If you get it wrong, then it's Chad. Then you, Chad, you, Chad, you.
So we have to say our name first.
Yeah, that's just so I know who actually said it. All right. So first question, Not Our Finest Hour related. So, how many Not Our Finest Hour episodes are live right now?
You want me to guess?
Oh, you got it.
Okay.
Okay,
PK.
PK. All right.
12.
No,
You're way off.
there's got to be
Chad?
30. No.
No, 30? No.
38.
Okay.
No.
38.
Yeah, there's 2 every week, and we did it since September.
Close. Chad? 38 is close.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What's the
PK.
answer?
41.
Oh, even closer. Chad.
Oh, we're going to keep going?
Oh, we're so close.
45.
No. All right.
42.
Oh, there you go. PK gets that one. 42. This is more so self-promotional, so everybody realizes everything here.
We have 42 episodes.
We have 42 episodes. Out of those 42, how many are our worst hour episodes? You'll each just get one guess, because that took too long.
What's half of 42?
But no, there's not an hour worst hour for everyone. So
Exactly.
I'm gonna say that 18.
18, Chad?
19.
All right, Chad gets that one. It's 22.
Those got more worst hours than...
There were 3 episodes or 4 episodes that did not get a worst hour episode.
But I thought we only had 42 episodes total.
Yeah, 42, and 22 of them are worst hour. Wait, the math doesn't work out, does it?
No.
That's why I picked 19.
This is more so just guess the number then, guys.
So what is the number?
I have no idea. I have 22 down here for some
I
reason.
told you it didn't work. I know my numbers.
I think 22 is the amount of first episodes, and
right.
20 is the amount of second episodes.
Because
there's probably
sense.
2 episodes where there isn't. Okay, moving on, because that took too long.
Yeah, man, we all run successful businesses, and we can't fucking count.
You speak for yourself, motherfucker.
How many episodes refer to PK? How many episode titles specifically refer to PK?
9.
Okay.
5.
8. Chad gets that one. How many episode titles specifically refer to Chad?
2.
5.
5. PK gets that one. Nice. All right. To wrap things up, how many ratings do we have on Spotify?
22.
25.
At the time that I actually wrote this on my phone, which could be wrong, we have 22. So Chad get right on. So Chad walks away with the winner of the first Not Our Finest Hour trivia there. So that is to say, if you're listening to this, we need more ratings and reviews. So if you're on Spotify, just click that 5-star button. If you're on Apple, you can leave us a rating and a written review, which we'll read here.
We will read it too.
Yeah.
And we'll mention you by name.
So just like now we have 24 5-star reviews.
Ooh.
So
PK is more closer to that.
He is closer now. But
Nice.
The Guru episode hit hard.
It did.
It was hard hitting news.
We've let that one dry yet.
Well, I feel like it was hard. I feel like the people know it's hard hitting news.
I feel like they can relate to the saturation of gurus in the industry.
I haven't had more DMs from a podcast episode than I did yet from that one. Our past one.
From any episode, from any podcast, or only
of recent memory. I don't know about like How to Hardscape, but that one definitely got a lot of people messaging me. What about you guys?
I've been told to take massive action at least 20 times this week.
I had a great. I put it into our group chat, but I think it deserves to get read. The one I had that great message from Inca Stone, INCA_Stone, Inca Stone. He sent me this message, and it says, number 1, don't stop smashing the gurus. Number 2, call out the guruable people, aka masterminds. Number 3, take massive action against the silliness. And number 4, by doing this, you actually become the true guru. I thought that was an interesting, take on that. That it was. I think that was a. I think people are. I think there is an oversaturation of some stuff. Like even like I know we were started this episode talking about like know your numbers. Like it's important stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like it is a bit,
oversaturated.
Well, I feel like on this podcast, no one's going to tell you to know your fucking numbers. I think you're safe. Yeah. This is a safe space for people who don't want to know their numbers.
I went on Caleb and Brittany do that weekly thing.
Yes.
Thing. I admitted that I've never done once in my career job costing ever, and it makes me probably fucking bad contractor. I don't know how I'm
Why?
still here.
I don't think that makes it a bad contract.
I don't know my numbers. I know what numbers work for me, and they seem to work, but I've never reverse engineered it to find out where we're losing money, where the holes are, and it just
Chad, do you have different unit rates for planting trees in a field as opposed to planting trees on boulevards where you need separate locates and stuff?
whenever you quote those two types of jobs,
Yeah.
your competition is cutthroat in one, and maybe uh, mediocre in the other, because usually whenever they're in a field, they're bundled in with topsoil work and some small planting work and maybe some interlock work, and so you can manipulate your pricing there. But if you're pricing like city trees, it's cutthroat, man. Like that's a
So like
steep.
we would never get a retaining wall on its own
Oh yeah.
because there's so many like big block retaining wall builders, and that's all they fucking do, and all their equipment is set up for it, and they just bid one wall after another, and they transport their guys all over Eastern Ontario, just building huge big block walls, slamming them in. So we just couldn't be competitive on getting an actual just big block retaining wall tender. But when big block retaining walls were included within the entire project, we would do them.
Yeah,
Similar thing, but you're just doing that with trees.
yeah.
Like
And
we
we do the
could,
same thing, but
yeah.
we do the same thing with walls too, right? Like that's because we've been asked to quote monster walls, and then you see the winning bid, and they come in with their tilt rotator, soft touch grapple, and they're putting these 4,000-pound wall blocks in just with the shovel, no man in a chain, and fucking around on the ground and stuff like that. Like they're set up. Not that we couldn't be set up for it, but it would take an investment to get there, and then we still don't know if our numbers are close, right?
It's a ultra specific thing that whenever I reverse engineer something, it horrifies me.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe I'm afraid to dissect myself like that because I feel like it's been going well so far.
Oh, in terms of job costing?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I never thought of it. I told all the guys we're getting a raise this year based on last year's numbers that should work, but I have no clue what this year has to show. Right, like, it could be an awful year, and they still have to all get that raise. So
Do you sit down with your accountant and be like, "Hey, what can I afford to give my guys raises based on last year's numbers," or do you just make that decision?
I make that decision based on the money that's left in the bank account.
Yeah.
Or, honestly, my account has never given me any advice other than to spend more money in the
And
business.
don't use the octagon thing on your phone to transfer
Yeah,
payments
no, that's
through
the
credit
bookkeeper said
cards.
don't do.
Oh,
Don't
that's
use
bookkeeper. Okay.
the thing, but no, the account said if you have a surplus of cash, you should think of spending some more. But again, I like to keep a high bank balance just to float business activity.
Mm.
I I could hold it up. Like everything I do is in this book, is in one of these books, and I have hundreds of them.
I own
For these
those.
ringed binders. Yeah, and everything I price is in these books, and every job. And then if I get a job, I flip back through the book, and then I rip out the pages, and then I put them in a file folder, and then Kelly builds a file for that job, and then she takes the well, we have a contract,
Yeah.
and she emails the contract, they send it back signed, and then we take my quote, which is all these pieces of paper and these jobs, and then we put them all together,
Yeah.
and that becomes the job file. And then and most of the time we photocopy with no numbers on it. We photocopy the contracts, and then the guys on site for the residential jobs get a copy. And then that way they understand what our requirements are and what we're doing.
Okay.
And that system is imperfect, and we're working on it.
Yeah.
But it's still quite a bit of more information than I used to ever give people. when I ran residential stuff before. So I think it's good for them to have more information. But yeah, everything like today, I don't know, this week I quoted 3 jobs. They're all in here because we
Wow.
didn't get any of them. And they're just, but some of these, like I've quoted jobs in books like this that were $1 million. It's like 3 sheets of paper, and it comes out on 3. My like the old guy that taught me how to price stuff, he priced everything on the back of used fax paper because it drove him fucking nuts that we would go through all this fax paper because you used to get like back in the day you would get faxes that were like garbage, but there were people advertising stuff. Same as you get like telemarketers, you get fax marketers, and so you'd come in the morning and there'd be fax paper all over the ground, and it was expensive. So he would quote all his jobs on the back of fax paper, used fax paper, and like with million dollar. Like I used to go to a lot of those things that like had all the spreadsheets and all this, and I think it's good. I'm not certainly not being critical of it at all. But then I would think back to myself and be like, this motherfucker is sitting in an office trailer closing $5 million worth of work a year, used fax paper.
Yeah.
These guys got massive systems and people logged in everywhere. And like it's like how the world works is an interesting thing because there's people who are highly successful with spreadsheets and CRMs and tracking every penny, and they know where every penny is, and they're highly successful. And then there's people like Chad who don't know fucking anything, who also are buying brand new fucking machines.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at like this little brown book that I have. It's my Bible for the hours for the guys, and no matter what we did on any day in 2022, I can tell you who worked what hours on what job and how many machine hours went out that day. And it doesn't have a battery, and it doesn't have a fucking cell signal. And I know exactly what we did.
So I don't do that record, like, but my old boss, like he would have, I guarantee he has 25 years of books like that, and it tells the weather and how many people were at work and what the temperature was, and he would record all of that and production, like how much got done, and then he would know like he was tracking production rates before tracking production rates was cool. He was doing it 30 years ago just in a fucking book. And he would use those books, go back to them the same as, hey, why did we only put in 7 trees that day? Oh, the trees were late. Or because he would keep notes on trees showed up late, or and that way you could also perfect, okay, why did that job not make as much money, and review through it and say, okay, well, the trees showed up late, the fucking locates were shit, we had to dig a bunch by hand and vacuum trees, and but yeah, I should do more keeping logbook like that. See, I have everything. Sorry, go ahead, Chad.
For what it costs, this book cost me $20 a year from Amazon. And I'm toying with the idea of going electronic with one of these, I don't know how many systems, right? And maybe we're at the point where we should bite the bullet and spend X amount of hundreds of dollars a month to do it. But to me, it's not like a machine payment where I'm going to see the output increase right off the bat. And in the grand scheme of things, like a couple $100 a month isn't a lot of money at all to the company. I just like looking at my own numbers, I'm afraid to take that step.
Well, you also have a system that's working for you. So for you to transfer to another whole other system, to learn it, and then to actually like implement it, that's a lot of time, and you're not going to be completely efficient at it for a while, right?
Yeah. But this is not a completely efficient system anyway, right? Like,
yeah,
all I do is have guys' hours written down in a book so that I can build the jobs when it comes down to it.
So when it comes to the trucks, I have everything that all the trucks do in a calendar in my phone. And every truck has its own calendar. So like if I needed to know what the bin truck did 6 months ago. I can look it up right to the
Did
day.
you fill it out, or did the guys?
Well, they all add to their calendars. Like they all have. So if you're a driver, you get a company phone, and then that company phone gives you access to your own calendar, not everyone's calendar, just yours, and then you can update it because a lot of our clients call the drivers direct. That's more Christy and Cody, not Darian. Darian usually runs gravel, but he's starting to deal with. He's doing a lot of float moves now, so clients have started to call him direct too, and he can update his calendar and add like say someone calls him and says, "Oh, we need you to take this machine too." He can add it, and then Kelly has access to everyone's calendars, and then whenever she's doing tickets and billing, she goes through to make sure nothing got missed because it's all in the calendar.
Do you guys have radios in your trucks?
Like CBs?
Yeah.
2 of them.
I always thought that's the fucking cat's ass.
They only, but they, you know what's weird? They only work when you're like, I don't know, 50 feet from the other truck.
Really?
Yeah, they don't go far. Like,
I worked for a construction company doing snow, 10 or 15 years ago, and they all had them, and they were like more than citywide. Like,
oh yeah, there's different levels of CBs.
Those were awesome. Like you could tell who's broke down and who's having a bad night just by who's going off on the intercom or whatever it is.
So that's probably, but see, that's a private CB network.
Is that expensive to get set up in?
So when we were doing the spa, there was like 35 staff to 40 staff on site, and I was in charge of all of them. So it's a little bit like it's hard. There's just so many people on 15 acres of land. And so they all ended up with CBs. Even to shut it down at the end of the day, like say, okay, everyone come in, everyone check in. Like I would have everyone check in. I would say check in, everyone check in, and then everyone would check in so that I know everyone's alive and not fucking got run over by a truck but we ended up with like 30, but they weren't on a private network. They were all just from like, they were all from like Motorola from Radio Shack. But there were people who had private network CBs on that site and they would work anywhere. They were fucking awesome. Ours had a range of working.
I just think they're cool to have.
Funny story with that is, so those CBs were Motorola ones that came from the source or fucking fake Radio Shack or whatever it's fucking called. And so it was in the fall. It was like maybe late November. And for some reason I was ripping across the 407 in the bin truck, but I had left my CB from the spa on my vest. And as I was ripping across, the CB just lit up. Should we send the trucks? Should we send the trucks? Should the trucks get sent? I don't know what to do. Should we send the trucks? And I literally came in. I was like, full send, motherfuckers. Send those trucks now. Send them. And they were like, okay, we're sending the trucks. And I was like, man, I hope no one dies. I don't know.
I definitely would send the trucks if somebody died.
I don't know where these trucks are going or what they're doing, but it's full fucking send. Full send on these trucks, man. We've been looking pretty hard at a whole, like, trying to solve some corporate, I guess, corporate issues with electronics, but you have to have so much buy-in. You got to have real buy-in, and I don't know if we'll have I think we would, but I've talked to everyone about it. Like, we don't have a lot of people, so it's pretty easy to have those discussions. But I'm looking at it going, I'm 50. I've done it this way forever. I've never done it another way. I don't know how to do it another way. Like, how many, even though you say you're never retiring, okay, so let's say I did another 20 years. Like, I guess for me, I look at it, I'm like, could I get away with it for another 20 years? Or do I need to change? So you're younger than me.
Do you guys plan on getting bigger?
I'd love to.
Yeah?
Yeah. I would adore a trucking guru to take me under his wing.
It's
Get
a good
me.
thing you got one right here.
Yeah.
I can help you with that.
No, I'd love to see a trucking division, but like anything else, the manpower is the missing piece, and I'm getting mixed numbers about or mixed signals about rates working and what a truck should go for and this and that, how to make it work and all this stuff, right? So
I would say to anyone that's considering trucking, it's for what the trucks cost versus what you can earn from them. It's a terrible investment. You gotta love it.
yeah, I think
You
that's
gotta fucking love the truck. You gotta like I love them. I don't care that it's if I spent that like the blue truck we have was $225,000 with it before HST. So if I had bought a $225,000 shovel and gone out and found work for it, I would be in better shape. The truck is it's but I don't love excavators as much as I love trucks. So like for me, I love the truck, so it doesn't but the return on investment, the ROI on trucks is you will make money with trucks, absolutely, if you're smart. If you're smart, you can absolutely make money with trucks. And you can manipulate them and you can manipulate the logistics of the trucks and you can find the right things to do with trucks. It's the same trucks are the same as everything, but you will never get good return on investment on the cost of the trucks because the cost of I just looked at a brand new bin truck, $348,000.
yeah. Before
Like
bids.
that's well, there's no bins on it, and the bins that we have won't fit on it because they're only 15 feet long, and between the hook and the grabbers is 16 feet. I didn't buy it because it's ridiculous and stupid, but like I'm looking at that truck going, someone is going to buy that truck for $348,000 and then go hook bins off the road for between $400 and $500.
Yeah.
Then you got fuel, driver. You'll make money. You'll still make money, but if you put your $348,000 into something else, you'd probably do better because you still don't have any bins either.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna after I just bought a few more bins, and we'll probably be up to 17 or 18 bins by the spring. So if the bins are even if you round them to $5,000 each,
So do you have to move these bins every time you have to clear snow? Like
no, I
at
just
your
leave them.
yard?
They don't do anything in the winter. They just sit there. So
Like I plowed my yard the other day, and to plow it nicely, everything has to be moved. So obviously, I didn't plow it nicely, but there's trailers there with snow all over them, and like even 2 hours pushing snow, it still looks like hell.
so the things I do every time it snows, I shovel every trailer because if you leave the snow on the trailers, they rot to fuck so fast
Yeah.
because they're just wet for so long. The wood becomes saturated and it rots. So I shovel every trailer and then I pull them all out. I pull out the big trailers, like the 20-ton trailer and the 30-ton trailer. I yank them out with the triaxles and then I push all the snow back because it's hard to get them out when there's snow around them because the trailers themselves are so like the 30-ton trailer is 41 feet long and has 3 axles on it. The trailer itself weighs so much that if there's any snow in the way of it, getting it out of the hole is like such a fucking pain in the ass. Like it's just, and I try to clean those areas down to the asphalt. But I spend every time if it snows like the last snowfall, I spent like 16 hours plowing the yard. I think
Yeah.
by the time I cleaned everything and pulled, and most Cody uses the float bin. We have a bin that specifically all we do is float equipment with it. Dirt doesn't go in it. It has like spots to keep the straps and it has D-rings welded in different positions and that bin, and then we keep 2 of the dump body bins on the trucks for hauling snow. And the rest of the bins just sit there all winter. It's not I had someone call me for a bin last week and I was like, yeah, bro, I'm not digging that fucking thing out of the snow for $450. You can fuck it. Or $440 or whatever bins are like. I'm not spending hours digging a bin out of the snow to do this. So
And you can't keep that on the road in the
it's,
winter.
well, the trucks we use them to move snow.
No, but like the bin, you can't keep the bin.
Oh, you can't. Well, as soon as you put dirt in a bin in the winter, it freezes,
Yeah, sure.
and then you basically have a bin of dirt for the whole winter, which is worse than just having an empty bin of snow.
A bin of dirt.
Like, it's better to have a. Yeah, I don't like the bin sitting in the yard is like if someone came to the yard, it's totally ridiculous. The amount of like there's just every like there's just they're 3 deep. Like if someone will look at me like holy like there's just so many of them now. But I mean I've had a lot of inquiries about our bin service for the spring from good clients. So you know to expand our current client base. So I the bin business is good. It just the trucks are. I think everything's going to start to come down a bit though, like in terms of equipment. Like the used equipment market's going to fall off soon.
Yeah.
If someone has used equipment to get rid of, they should fucking dump it right now. And that's in my opinion, because the used equipment market's about to
Explode.
yeah, and that's my opinion. But
And
on
new
the flip
equipment should kind of come down a bit too, right?
on the flip side of that, new equipment's so expensive that it's inflating the price of used equipment. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I overpaid for that. AS. Well, overpaid. I mean, that the price is the price. What are you going to do with it? But
yeah, exactly.
even the sales guy was saying they're still trying to push up prices another 10, 15, 20%. I'm like, where's the room for this? There are like a skid steer that can move a pallet is already well over $100,000 right now. Like 3 years ago, I paid 80 for the same skid steer. Like,
I think on our 595 is almost worth what I paid for it.
what'd you pay for it?
85.
I think I paid 87 for ours, and I've got it listed for 68. I've got some hits, but no one serious.
Maybe it's not worth. It's definitely worth more than it should be because ours has $1,400 on it.
Yeah, ours has
Yeah.
800.
They offered me 20 grand for my 2015 Chevy with a fucked up alternator and 400K on it.
Wow.
But I think the truck market's about to crash out too, like the pickup truck market. The pickup truck market.
Yeah.
It's a because what was the original question here? Are you trying to grow?
Yeah.
Who asked that? I asked that?
I think you
Yes.
did.
Oh, yeah? That must have been a while ago.
I thought it was a while. I don't know if we're ever trying to grow. I'm just waiting for opportunities. We have a good opportunity with a live bottom or a pop. So if I can find a good deal on a live bottom or a pop, we'll buy it 100%. Because I have a really good opportunity with it. Like a fucking killer opportunity with it. So and then there's also a triaxle for sale that if things come together right for us, I'm going to buy it because I know it's a fucking good truck. And I just want it to sit around because we have 4 trucks that are on the triaxles that are on the road every day. 2 of them are broker trucks, 2 of them are ours, but they're four essentially Paver King triaxles on the road every day. And if one of those goes down, I want any one of those 4 drivers to be able to come to the yard and get another truck and go back to work.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because the 2 broker drivers could drive it, or our drivers could drive it. But we need a truck in the yard all the time, just sitting there, just for when one of those trucks goes down. Because we have a pretty consistent client base for 4 trucks. So
Are they all 10 speed or 18 speed, or what's your
well, Chrissy's is 18, one's auto. Cody's truck, my truck, and Darian's truck are auto.
Wow.
Allison 6s. Christy's is 18 because she won't drive anything that isn't 18.
Really?
And then Naz and Tony's trucks are both 8. Naz's might be 8LL. And Tony's is 18 for sure because it's got a big motor in it. But it's having that. So those 2 things, if we can do those 2 things, I think I'm looking for I'm looking for between 12 and 14 ton excavator, or a
Wow.
12 or a 14. Because the 8 we have it just takes too long to load the trucks.
Really? It's not that. I figure, how long does it take 8 ton to load a truck?
That's like 35 scoops.
Yeah, 10 minutes or so.
No, 20 minutes. Like it's
20
35,
minutes?
35 scoops, man. Even if you
You
said
got
it
a
was,
hill
even if you
rotator.
said, well, yeah, well then. Or what are those things? Milex? What are those things?
Metallic.
Metallics? I need to find a metallics. I think that the problem is that you can't run enough trucks because the trucks are backing up on each other because the 8 ton's great. It's an amazing. I would never sell it. I think it's an amazing machine. It will load trucks and it will fit a lot of places. I think it's a great size. I think it's a good machine, but I think that if we want to be more in the excavating and hauling business, we need a machine that loads the trucks faster.
Yeah.
Our float's big enough for a 20. Like we could put an 18, 20 ton X. I don't know. Like we could put a 20 on our float. But then it makes me super nervous with bridges because when it's all folded up, even if it's all folded up on a deck over float, it's fucking high.
Yeah.
So a 14 is probably a 14 with a tilt rotator if anyone's giving one away. Or anyone wants to sponsor the podcast like Cabelco or Komatsu or Cat and Roto Tilt and Encon, we'll take them. Goddamn right.
I have no problem pimping that out all day, everywhere. And I'll tattoo it on my ass. Something.
I'll dance in Dominican with 2 drinks with an Encon.
Yeah.
All right, are you guys ready for bed?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the end of the podcast. Bye.